Counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up all things Brewers, Diamondbacks out of game number 4 today. It'll be Jose Quintana on the bump going up against Nabil Crismet of the Arizona Diamondbacks. 1:10 first pitch today from American Family Field. Game number 135 on the season. Brewers 83-51, Arizona 65-69. All things pointing in the wrong direction, it felt like yesterday for Milwaukee. What's the lineup look like today?
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show. Experience it your way, lakeland.edu. First up for the visiting Diamondbacks, Ketel Marte at second base will lead things off. Geraldo Perdomo, the shortstop, will bat second. Corbin Carroll in right field will bat third. Lourdes Gurriel in left field bats fourth. Gabriel Moreno, the catcher, will bat fifth. Blaze Alexander at third base will bat sixth. Tyler Locklear, the first baseman, batting seventh. Alec Thomas in center field will bat eighth. And Amaro Vargas, the DH, will bat ninth. Now for the Milwaukee Brewers, Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat second. William Contreras, the DH, will bat third. Bryce Terang at second base in the cleanup spot. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Danny Jansen, the catcher, batting seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Crew, batting ninth at shortstop, it'll be Andrew Monasterio. Well, yesterday, while it felt like maybe there was some positive to take out of it from the Brewers on a very bad news day just in general. You hear McGill is moving to the 15-day IL while they transfer over Logan Henderson to the 60-day IL. That was to free up a spot for Eric Fetty, who would come in to pitch for the Brewers as Quinn Priester gets his start pushed back. He was supposed to go yesterday. He will now go Saturday in game number 2 of the Toronto series. Jose Quintana will get the bump today as the Brewers look to clinch the series victory if they are able to get the win today over Arizona. They could have done it yesterday. However, they did not, and we'll go through it right here on the Rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
It was Ryan Nelson for Arizona going up against the opener, Aaron Ashby, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Not a lot of highlights for Milwaukee in this game as the score, just 5 runs total between the two clubs yesterday. The Brewers would get the first run on the board in the second inning thanks to a Jake Bauers ground out to second base that ended up bringing home Blake Perkins. It was 1-0 after 2 in this one. The Diamondbacks would answer back in the 6th inning. That's when they finally got to Eric Fetty. He went in. We'll give you his final line and hear from Fetty a little bit later on in this segment as well. He would give up a homer to Blaze Alexander that made things 2-1 in the 6th inning, and the Brewers would not find the lead after that. In the 8th, Geraldo Perdomo had a homer as well. Bill Contreras, however, did pick up number 15 on the year with this big fly in the 8th.
And that one is deep into left field. It's a 1-run game. There's one piece to the puzzle. Contreras hits a frozen rope out of here. His 16th home run. Bernie hits the slide, and it's 3-2 Arizona.
My apologies. His 16th home run on the season. Looking at the wrong number here. That made things 3-2 in the ninth inning. The Brewers tried to stretch a single into a double with an Andrew Monasterio hit. Unfortunately, he was thrown out at second base. Bryce Terang struck out looking. 3-2 the final in this one. Milwaukee would fall after taking games 1 and 2 of the series. The win goes to Ryan Nelson. The loss to Eric Fetty. Eric Fetty, though, however, not a terrible performance in his debut for Milwaukee after Aaron Ashby came in and was able to clean things up with his first 2 innings going smoothly. Then we saw our guy, Eric Fetty go 4 1/3, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts in the contest. The Brewers unable to get anything done as William Contreras, really the only spark on the offensive side. 16th homer of the year, his last 15 home games. Contreras is batting .455, has a .964 slugging percentage in that time, has an on-base percentage of .538. He has 12 extra base hits, 10 walks. That's a 1502 OPS now for William Contreras at home over that stretch. Caleb Durbin had a nice day. He had 3 hits. He's done that now 5 times this year. Last time we have to go back to the first day of August against Washington. Durbin is 7 for 19 with 3 doubles across his last 5 games now. And Bryce Terang extends his hitting streak to 10 games with a 7th inning single. Across that stretch, Bryce Terang batting .350 has a .600 slugging percentage, a 1.009 OPS. After the game was over, Eric Fetty was kind of the topic of conversation. Wasn't even on the Brewers roster until yesterday. He then came in to pitch after the opener of Aaron Ashby. Eric Fetty spoke to the media after the game. Here is the newest Brewer, Eric Fetty, on his first performance with Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, it was, obviously a pretty crazy couple hours, but just got the call and jumped on a flight 2 hours after, last night. So got in and, but it's been great since I've been here. Everyone's been very kind and friendly. The positivity in this clubhouse is unmatched, and I'm glad they're giving me a chance to go out there and compete.
What are the mechanics of getting your feet under you, meeting people, getting some kind of game plan and going out and pitching? That doesn't sound as like it's very easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting down with the team, on the pitching side and just kind of talking about what I do best and, sat down with Contreras and just kind of went through things and, they kind of built a game plan for me and something to work on and just kind of, build off of each inning, how it goes and, just try to build a rapport with each other. And that's what we tried to do today.
How quickly did this come together? Like when did you first hear Brewers?
Probably around 3:00 yesterday in Arizona, and then was on a flight at 5:30. So it was quick, but anytime a team is going to give you a chance to pitch in the big leagues, you're going to jump on it.
I know the numbers probably aren't what you wanted them to be this year, but when a team like the Brewers that has a reputation for working well with pitchers and the coaching staff, is there some excitement to getting in here and seeing what they have to say to you?
100%. I mean, like you said, the reputation speaks for itself, and if you can come here and get a tip or two that can get me back on track, of course, going to take that opportunity.
How did it go just getting on the same page with William and how deep you were able to get into the game?
I thought he was great tonight. Every inning spoke with me and just kind of things that he thought. And honestly, I thought he called a great game, leaned to my strengths, and was really impressed with him back there.
How frustrating is that homer where it sort of wall scraper?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how my year feels. But, obviously need to make a better pitch 0-2. And so just lean on that. And sometimes just got to be a little better. So it sucks, giving away the lead. But, try to grow from there.
Did you guys talk at all about where this goes from here? And do you expect to just make a series of starts? Is it start to start? Were there any promises made?
No, I think that's something that, is for the team to decide. And I'm just trying to be open to everything and try to be as useful as I can. Obviously, this team is playing really well and just happy to be a part of it.
There is that Eric Fetty after the game yesterday, that audio courtesy of Adam McCalvey on Twitter. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up. All things Brewers Diamondbacks ahead of the series finale, game number 4 today at 1:10 from American Family Field. Eric Fetty, 4 1/3, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, and 2 strikeouts yesterday in his Brewers debut. For reference point here, his last start was for the Atlanta Braves Friday, just 5 days ago, against the New York Mets. He also went 4 1/3 in that game. However, he gave up 11 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks in that contest. No walks yesterday for Fetty. He does get charged with the loss. Eric Fetty now 4-13 on the season. His numbers have not looked great, but now you get a fresh slate with the Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be his 3rd team now this year, as he was with the St. Louis Cardinals early on in the season. That did not go well, as his ERA was 5.22 with St. Louis, and it even went up after his performances with the Braves. He made 5 starts with the Atlanta Braves after being acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals. 4 2/3, 4 earned runs. That was his first game. 5 1/3 against the Brewers, 3 earned runs. 5 innings, 4 earned runs against Miami. 4 innings, 4 earned runs against Cleveland. And then that Mets start that we just brought up, 4 1/3, 6 earned runs. So a minimum of 3 earned runs given up in every appearance with the Atlanta Braves, already besting that with the Brewers, 2 earned runs. Last time Eric Fetty made an appearance in which he gave up less than 3 earned runs, you got to go back to June 19th against the White Sox, in which he went 5 innings and gave up just 1 earned run in that contest. After the game was over as well, the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking on the new Brewer, Eric Fetty, and what it means to have him on the team.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it. You know, he's a veteran kid, and to get called up yesterday and say you're going to sign and pitch the next day and come in and give us 4 1/3. I thought he did a really nice job. I thought Ashby was great out of the gate. Just a couple pitches to have back. It's a good offensive team, and we were in position to win there. Big homer by Contreras, a hustle double by Yelich. Great play. Yelich's earlier assist at the plate. You know, guy's playing every day. He's exhausted, and he's just giving us everything he got. It's unbelievable. And then just didn't get him over and get him in like we normally would. Yeah. That double at there, the hit by Monasterio at the end, trying to stretch to 2. You know, I just respect aggression, so I just respect it. The kid made a great play and might have changed the game, but it's the way it goes. Credit the Diamondbacks pitcher. Credit that kid. He pitched great. And, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
For moments like that with Monasterio getting thrown out there, with how much you guys preach aggression and how big a part of that is of your identity, are those just kind of plays that are going to happen sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, you force that guy to make that play. Gurriel has arm strength, you know what I mean? And he was sprinting. I think Mona saw him sprinting to the ball there. And once he saw him that way, that's going to be a tough play to come up and throw it. So credit to Gurriel for that great throw. And, Mona made an early decision and went with it. And guys make aggressive moves like that and they're out, it's going to happen. So it's unfortunate, but I support it.
Murphy mentioned Yelly. How impressed were you by that throw that he made early in the
game? That's what I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it was great. Like the guy's giving us everything he got. He gets the hustle double and makes the big throw early in the game. Save us a run and an out. That's special.
There is Pat Murphy speaking to the media after the game. That audio courtesy FanDuel Sports Network. The homer from William Contreras as well, FanDuel Sports Network, to courtesy them. Andrew Monasterio, we talked about it, trying to stretch his double or single into a double. Kind of live and die by the sword. I was talking about earlier today on the Mason Crosby show. that's just how the Brewers play baseball. And if it's going to bite them, it bites them. Monasterio has really been unreal in his role right now. He had a 2-hit game yesterday, has hit safely in 7 straight games now. He's batting .409 with a .682 slugging in those 7 games. And if you extend it even further than that, over his last 16 games, he is batting .410, has 16 hits in that stretch, and has an OPS 1.157 right now on the same stretch. It's a career-high 7-game hitting streak for Andrew Monasterio, and he has done a great job to fill in for Joey Ortiz, who, by the way, providing an update as well from Drew Wagner saying he is operating close to 100%. So hopefully his IL stint, once that concludes, he can just rejoin the major league club, because I think that that's really been a theme all year. Is it's a next man up mentality when someone goes down for the Brewers, and Monasterio's done just about as good a job as anyone else can say they have when their name has been called for the Brewers. Now, kind of looks like a bonehead play when you're not a guy who plays every day and you try to make that play, which it was not close. He was out by a mile at second base, and maybe he got a little inspired by Christian Yelich doing it earlier in the game, as they were bringing up in post game as well. You can't make that error. You can't make the second out at second base there. Get the single. If you want to try to steal over, I guess maybe you can justify that, but just taking the bat out of Bryce Terang's hand to try to win the game there, and then later on you're stuck with it, and you have to make your bed and lay in it from there. And batting second in the game also was Caleb Durbin, and he had 3 hits in the game. Just don't take the bat out of the top of the order's hands there, Mona. Appreciate the effort, and again, a fantastic stretch he's been on. I think he got a lot of hate earlier in the year just because we really didn't see what he could do. But now he's done just as good a job filling in as anyone else could with the bat. Maybe he's not the defensive player. He's definitely not the defensive player that Joey Ortiz is, but Monasterio doing his best to try to keep the Brewers afloat. And it's hard when the offense only puts up 2 runs, as we know the number of the Brewers when they score 4 in a game, how dominant they are. They right now, after losing yesterday 3-2 to the Arizona Diamondbacks, when they score 3 or less runs in a game, they are 14-40 on the season. I can't imagine many big league clubs have a positive record when that is the case, but obviously that's a massive jump from 69-11 in the 80 games they have scored 4 runs or more. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. We're going to be joined by Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook manager at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, in the next segment. Pick his brain a little bit on what's going on over at Potawatomi, get you a parlay for the people to try to get some more money in your pocket if you go over to the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin Herdina up next. Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina at Potawatomi, Brewers lineup again today in case you missed it earlier in the show. Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat second. William Contreras, the DH, will bat third. Bryce Terang at second base bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Danny Jansen, the catcher, batting seventh. Blake Perkins in center field batting eighth. Andrew Monasterio will be the shortstop and round things out, batting ninth.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Joining the show now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, Sportsbook Manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Austin Herdina, joining us today. Austin, how are we doing today, my friend?
Oh, I'm sulking a little bit right now from the Brewers loss yesterday. I had the player props right. Brewers just didn't come through with a win.
Yeah, and it's hard when you don't score runs, right, Austin? I mean, the new, Eric Fetty comes in and he does all right in his first start. Obviously, gives up the two big flies, but it feels like for the first time in a while, Austin, the Brewers are looking ahead as opposed to living in the moment. Where it comes to, hey, they're going to put McGill on the IL because we don't want to risk anything happening to Trevor McGill come October. So let's nip it in the bud right now. Eric Fetty wasn't even on the team, wasn't even notified he was going to be on the team until like 2 days ago at 3:00. And then he has to come in, pitches 4 1/3, gives up the 2 runs. Ultimately, the pitching didn't lose the game, Austin.
No, the pitching hasn't lost many games this year at all. We got one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball, and they're performing like it. But yeah, you got to score runs to win, and 2 runs is usually not going to get it done.
I know you're a big stats guy and trend guy. 4 runs has really just been a threshold all season for Milwaukee. If you didn't know this one, Austin, 80 games they've scored 4 or more runs. They are 69-11 in those games. If they score 3 or fewer, they are 14-40. All right, wow. So it's a massive swing if they get to 4 as opposed to sticking at 3, or in yesterday's case, only getting to 2. Betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Looking at them today, Austin, Brewers -157 on the money line to go for the series victory today. -1.5 will get you +135 with Milwaukee, and the over-under is set at 9. What are you looking at today to make a nice little parlay for the people, Austin?
I think we're going to be putting some runs on the board. I like the Brewers -1.5 today.
All right.
Just Quintana's been steady all year long. He's been a great pitcher for us. I think he's going to keep the Diamondbacks off the board much. Brewers, Caleb Durbin yesterday, he was 3 for 3, came up with a big spot later in the game.
Yeah.
Didn't come through.
Yeah,
but
you had him over 1.5 hits, right? Yeah, it wasn't just half a hit yesterday. You were all over that.
If we had it over 2.5, I might have done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Durbin to get a hit again today. I feel like he's feeling it right now.
Okay.
And then Quintana over 3.5 strikeouts. I feel like that's a lower number. That's something that if the Brewers are going to win by 2 or more, it's probably because they hold the Diamondbacks to not many runs, which means maybe some more strikeouts. So Brewers -1.5, Quintana over 3.5 strikeouts, and Durbin to get a hit. +375.
+375, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That is Brewers -1.5 on the run line. Caleb Durbin to record a hit. Jose Quintana to record over 3.5 strikeouts. +375, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, Badger football today. Expecting a big day over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook for the people to come down and watch. You guys are going to have the game on, of course, right?
Yeah, of course we'll have the game on. Big sports day. Not only, a Brewer game this afternoon, we got the Badger game tonight. We got a lot of other college football games tonight. Nebraska versus Cincinnati is a game that we're seeing a lot of bets on. It's exciting to just have more to talk about than just baseball. I love baseball, but I love this time of year when we just have more sports to talk about. We got the U.S. Open tennis going on right now. We got people in the sports book right now watching that. Baltimore and Boston game started already. Got people in here watching that. So it's a fun time.
We might need to get Austin Herdina involved in some sort of betting odds show here at the Fan when we start getting more and more into it, because I don't know if anyone else likes more sports than Austin Herdina, talking about tennis all the time. Obviously today the college football slate starts a little bit earlier, 4:30. Boise State at South Florida. They'll have the games on there. They can have all of these games on there over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And Austin Herdina running the show over there, Sportsbook Manager, joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Austin, what else is going on over at Potawatomi people need to know about, my friend?
Well, let me tell you about this too. So this afternoon at 1:30, we have Greece versus Italy in Eurobasket. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo on TV.
Hey, okay.
So he's playing for Team Greece. We got a lot of stars in Eurobasket. Luka and Jokic, a lot of European stars in the NBA right now.
And you have betting odds on it right here. I'm looking at it right now.
Absolutely, yeah, it's fun. So if you're someone that maybe isn't too much into baseball or football and you're a basketball guy, come on in, because this is a fun time to watch these teams play for their country. It's a tournament style, kind of like an Olympic style, where they play in a group, and then after the group stage, there's knockout rounds, etc. It goes until like mid to late September, so it's about a 3 or 4 week tournament. It started yesterday. It's a fun time.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Come on.
I'm looking right now. Over under on Giannis's points, 29.5 today in the first game of Eurobasket, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Yeah, and his brother Costas.
Yep,
I believe his
Costas
name.
is
He's
playing,
playing as well. So yes, family affair over there. So it's going to be fun just to see, to cheer on a Milwaukee Buck and just having some basketball on the screen in August. It doesn't happen very often.
You got the shuttle service in use right now, Austin, going on over at Potawatomi today?
I've already handed out about a dozen bracelets today. So we got people that are coming up, placing bets, getting their bracelet, heading over to the game. So just remember, if you come and place a bet at the sports book on the day of the game, you can ask for a bracelet, and that bracelet's going to get you on the shuttle. Those start 1 hour before game time. And for your return trip, you got until about an hour after the game to get back on that shuttle. And it leaves right from our sportsbook area.
How many shuttles do you have going out each day, Austin? Do you know off the top of your head?
We have 3. So we have 3 shuttles that are constantly looping back and forth between Potawatomi and the ballpark.
Yeah, just taking Canal Street all the way up and down. Perfect time over there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Go have some fun, watch some of the games, get on the shuttles. Then come back and enjoy more of the games over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. One more time, parlay for the people today. It is Brewers -1.5, Caleb Durbin to record a hit, and Jose Quintana over 3.5 strikeouts. It'll pay +375, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, have a great rest of your day, my friend. We will do this again tomorrow. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook Manager at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Joins us on each and every leadoff show on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something, or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
It feels like there are two constants with the Eye on the Enemy feature we have on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Either the Brewers are playing the Cubs or Jose Quintana's on the bump. Man, that guy's been around the big leagues. Everyone has seen Jose Quintana in some fashion. It feels like two guys in the Arizona lineup will be facing Quintana for the first time. Two young guys, Alec Thomas batting 8th today, and then Tyler Locklear, who was actually a part of the trade package that brought Eugenio Suarez, remember that name, to Seattle. Locklear was the first baseman that Arizona got in return. They are trying to replace Christian Walker, no longer there. Locklear, a part of that prospect haul. that got Eugenio Suarez to Seattle. So we'll see what he can do in his first time. However, looking across the rest of the lineup, Ketel Marte, 12 at-bats, leading things off. He is 5 for 12. That's a .417 batting average. He has also taken Quintana yard, so he has had some success against Jose in the past. Geraldo Perdomo, 1 for 4. Corbin Carroll, 1 for 8. Lourdes Gurriel, a homer as well, but he's only 2 for 7. That is still a .286 average. Moreno is looking for his first hit. Blaze Alexander, 1 for 2. And then Inmar Vargas, 1 for 10 with 3 strikeouts at the bottom part of the order. As far as Chrismet and anyone going up against him, the Brewers all pretty much facing him for the first time today. William Contreras, just 2 at-bats, has a hit and a strikeout in those 2 ABs. Anyone else, however, it'll be the first time they see Nabil Chrismet for Arizona. Making his 21st start of the season, it is Jose Quintana, and he has figured it out a little bit more so in the August month compared to how he pitched really in May or June or July for that matter. 3-0, 2.83 ERA so far in August for Jose Quintana. Went 5 1/3, gave up 2 earned runs in his last contest, 6 1/3, 1 earned run against Cincinnati, and then against Pittsburgh, also just 1 earned run in his last 3 starts now against the Pirates. So he's been 4 earned runs over his last 3 games. In those, he has pitched 17 2/3 innings as well. He's just been a guy that's been able to get you past that 5th inning many a times. They are going to need it again for Jose Quintana because the team continuing to be thin. Yesterday, the Brewers also using Nick Mears in that game, which is a guy that seems like he gets hot now every single game for the Brewers in some capacity. Nick Mears this year, by the way, he has pitched in 57 games already, which is the most of his career. Last year, he pitched in 54 between 41 games with Colorado and 13 with Milwaukee. His innings number as well this year near the top as well for Nick Mears. He's been awesome. He's actually probably been maybe one of the best arms for Milwaukee out of the pen. The whip at .88, the ERA just at 3, giving up some of the homers for sure, but 51 innings now for Nick Mears. 57 2/3 was the most he had in his career. That was last season. I assume Mears will get to that number at some point this year. But again, 57 games, now the most he has pitched in his big league career. I'm excited for it. I want to see the Brewers get this series victory again, but pitching, it's getting thin, guys, and I'm getting nervous about it. Abner Uribe will be available hopefully today after not pitching yesterday. Maybe the Brewers offense just has a big day and they won't need to use him, which I think the Brewers will be okay with after having to put McGill on the 15-day yesterday.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner. Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Skip the debt. Learn a trade. Apply now at iwl8.org. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Taking a look around the minor leagues. We got to start at the top level. That's with Nashville.
Nashville Sounds.
AAA yesterday lost 11-10 in 10 innings. I just want to say this. Someone who has worked a fair amount of minor league, summer league baseball, that game stunk for the workers, I'm sure. That game probably just felt like it lasted forever. Now I've lost 4 in a row with Nashville, but really what you're looking at is Rhys Hoskins and Jackson Chourio. Rhys Hoskins was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored in his rehab game with AAA yesterday. He's 9 for 27. That's a very clean .333 batting average with the Sounds in his 7 games. Now he has 5 extra base hits in that time. Looking to see if he could be returning sooner rather than later. Jackson Chourio had his 5th rehab appearance as well. as he reached on a walk and scored in that 11-10 loss. Churio hopeful to be back this weekend as the Brewers take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Otherwise, in that game, Eric Haas was 2 for 4, had a double. Tyler Black was 3 for 6 with a double in that game. Freddie Zamora, a double as well, who I thought was going to be a candidate to come up when Joey Ortiz moved on to the IL. Reynel Delgado, 3 for 4 after he had that game where he had the reverse cycle. He's kind of been on a heater right now with Nashville.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi, we saw the Shuckers lose 3-2 in 11 innings again to the Montgomery Biscuits. They've lost 2 in a row now. Tyson Harden, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts as well in that time. Biloxi has lost 2 in a row. They're in 4th place in the second half of the South Division. However, they still have some postseason to play after winning the first half in the Southern League. Now, the exciting part.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers also lost, but a lot to be positive about. Andrew Fisher, his first professional homer yesterday, 9-5 loss to Quad Cities. His 9th inning blast raised his batting average to .318 now in his 11 games with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. The Brewers' first-round pick in 2025 has an .832 OPS with 3 extra base hits during his time with Wisconsin. Jesus Mate as well, 4 for 5, 2 doubles in the game. Marco Dinges had a hit. He went 1 for 4. Timber Rattlers last weekend, you guys can go see them. Make sure you guys tune in. Go watch some Wisconsin Timber Rattlers baseball as they're taking on the Quad City River Bandits.
Carolina Mudcats.
Mudcats yesterday, the only team to pick up a victory, and Brady Abel, the first-round comp pick from the Willie Adames signing, as you remember, 3 for 5, had an RBI and a run scored in the game. Josiah Ragsdall had reached base 3 times in that game, picked up his 6th stolen base in the 7-5 win. Ragsdall was a 7th-round pick by the Brewers this past year out of Boston College, made his professional debut on August 13th. In 11 games right now, his slash line, 351, 478, and 378 with the Carolina Mudcats. Braylon Payne also 2 for 3 in the game, and Carolina the only team picking up a victory as the Brewers overall 337 and 318 of all the affiliated ball right now. They are currently 10th in all of baseball, according to organizational standings, with the .515 organizational winning percentage. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Coming up, we got to talk to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports. He is live at American Family Field. He'll join us via the Fan Guest Hotline. When we come back, it is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup again in case you missed it earlier in the show. Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, the DH rather, will bat third. Bryce Terang at second base will bat fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Danny Jansen is the catcher today, batting seventh. Blake Perkins in center field, batting eighth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, will bat ninth, round things out for the Crew.
What's the latest on the Crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Join their fall mini camps at focusbaseball.com.
Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Follow him on Twitter at by Andrew Wagner. Follow his work at Forbes Sports. It is Drew Wagner joining us here. Mr. Wagner, how are we? How is the stadium vibe right now, Mr. Wagner?
The vibes are, well, let's see. Immaculate means they're really, really good.
Correct.
I guess the vibes are kind of, they're meh. They're good meh.
Good meh. Good meh. All right, that's fine. I'll take good meh right now, especially, yesterday kind of felt like it was a lean towards bad meh, right? I mean, the Brewers pitching, if you would have told me Eric Fetty is going to pitch 4 1/3 and only give up 2 earned runs, I'm going to think, hey, they got a pretty good shot at that game yesterday at that time. And unfortunately, the bats go dormant again for Milwaukee, and they're not able to come up with that big hit at any point yesterday, Drew. Ultimately, the Brewers have avoided that a lot this season, but it does come out every once in a while like it does with every team, it feels like, Drew.
Yeah, yesterday was just, listen, these guys are feeling it right now. I mean, they are dogging right now. This is a brutal stretch. You have all the emotion of the winning streak, right? You're playing on cloud nine. You're playing on borrowed money, house money, whatever you want to call it. You're rolling. The adrenaline is pumping. You take the loss of Cincinnati. The streak snaps. You go into Chicago, and it's a weird situation with the rain out and the doubleheader and the long series and it takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
You know, they gave Frelick a rest last night because they're trying to be careful with his legs. You know, he's had the leg injuries this year. This is a long stretch. They need to give him a break. I think it's a different story if you have a more normal lineup in there. It was just a bad night. But that's, again, and I keep saying this, that is the benefit of that huge winning streak.
Yes.
You know, everyone's saying they haven't won anything yet. They built up enough of a cushion where they could absorb some of the blows that you knew you were going to take during the stretch.
Well, and
when your pitching is
Chicago lost yesterday too, Drew. So really, like, no harm, no foul on the game, right?
Yeah, you know, everything. This team is still probably going to have the top overall seed in the playoffs, or at least the National League. You know, this weekend facing the Blue Jays, that could change some things a little bit. But nonetheless, this team's going to win the division. They're going to finish with the top seed. They are poised to make a good run. They've got a bunch of off days coming up after this stretch. They're going to get the bye. They're going to be healthy and rested. Like, I think everything is going to be just fine.
Well, and Drew, you bring it up, and you're talking a little down the line here, and that stretch of baseball, right? Not just even the 14 games, right? But they were 27-3 over 30, or 27-4 over 31 games, right? And they had the fantastic run from the end of that 14-game streak all the way to May 25th, where they were like 51-16. It feels like right now, for the first time all season, Pat Murphy realizes he has a little bit of a luxury where he can look just enough ahead and not have to worry about today so much. Does it feel like that in the clubhouse now, especially with a move like McGill moving to the IL yesterday and trying to control some guys during this tough stretch? He is looking a little bit down the road finally for the first time this year.
Yeah, I think so. And I think you're right. It is a little bit of a luxury that comes with it. You know, listen, we heard people talk about the Brewers peaking too early and can they sustain this and that, all those little questions. And Of course, you're not going to play 750 baseball for the last 4 months of the season. Few teams have ever done that in history. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters, it's not barrel rate, it's not run differential, it's wins and losses. And that only matters on one day, and that's the last day of the season. It doesn't matter when those victories come. As long as you have the most of anybody, you're in good shape. And that's where the Brewers are poised to head. They are going through a stretch right now, but they're able to do that. And because of their success they've had the last couple months, they are able to be a little bit more aggressive in giving guys a break. And yeah, you're probably not putting your best lineup on the field every day, but you can't always do that. Sometimes you have to get guys some rest, and that's what they're doing. And that's the benefit of building up that giant lead.
Drew Wagner joining us here on the Leadoff Show. You can follow his work at Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter @byAndrewWagner. Drew, I want to again just continue to look a little bit forward with the Brewers. And you're saying they're going to win this division. They're probably going to get the top seed in the National League, and I agree with you. But what does that final number look like for security? I believe the magic number is 23 right now to get that top spot in the National League for the Brewers. So, do you think that they have to just break the Brewers record for most wins in a year, and then they should be comfortable, and that should probably be the number? 97 right there looks good, Drew?
I mean, it looks good, but again, you're going to go back to the whole just worry about today.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to. It's you can sit there and have goals, and, if you win 96 games and not 97, is that not meeting? It's all nitpicky. You win the game today, worry about tomorrow, and however many you have at the end, that's the only thing that matters. How many do you have at the end?
Yeah.
As long as you have more than the next guy, doesn't matter if it's 92 or if it's 98 or if it's 105. Just have more wins than everybody else.
Yeah, Drew, just when you start to get fun, then you got to bring me back in and reel me in. And I have to be the voice of reason at this station now because I talk with you all the time and everyone else gets crazy. That's hard for me, Drew. That is very hard for me indeed. Drew, also want to look ahead here and ask about maybe not necessarily the lineup, but just the personnel again. Caleb Durbin has the big day yesterday. He picks up 3 hits in that contest and now back in the lineup today against a righty. Do you think that the platoon days of Durbin and Siegler are pretty much behind us now at this point?
I mean, we'll see what happens the next time, the situation presents itself. You go look at it one day at a time, and you can't really detect a trend until you have a bigger sample size, right? So if you're seeing Durbin in there against a bunch of right-handers, well, then we know that little experiment has come to an end. Today, he's back in there, and he produces great, and then you see what happens the next day.
Drew, also, Bill Contreras yesterday, a big fly. His last 2 homers might have taken a combined 4 seconds to get out of the stadium. What changed in William Contreras? Because now it's been, for the better part of a month, he's been on fire. He has been a staple in the Brewers lineup at that time, too. His defense, you got to credit William. And yesterday, Eric Fetty, a lot of credit to William all the time. But his offense, Drew, he is on his Silver Slugger pace during this stretch of Brewers baseball right now. And that is a massive pickup for the Brewers. What changed in the middle of the year? Did he get more comfortable with a broken hand? Like, is the hand healed? I can't imagine that. Like, what's going on with William that's working so well now?
Can we count that as a de facto trade deadline acquisition because he got good after the trade deadline?
I think Bryce Terang's stretch also should be called a de facto trade deadline acquisition, in my opinion, as well. Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know what it is, and I really think it's just a matter of him getting comfortable and getting better pitches to hit now that the rest of the lineup is starting to hit a little bit better. It's hitting is contagious. And it's not because one guy's having success. It's because when other guys have success, pitchers have to be more careful with their approach. They have to do things differently. They have to pitch guys differently because there's no easy at bat in this Brewers lineup.
No.
Every single guy can go up there and give you a battle. Every single guy might not crush the ball out of the ballpark, but every single one of those guys has the ability to make it, as Connor Dawson said, a living hell every at bat. Run your pitch count up, make you throw every single thing you got so they get a look at every single thing you got.
Drew,
when you've got a bunch of guys that do that,
yeah,
that's when the hitting becomes contagious.
No, all the at-bats, tough at-bats, it feels like when the Brewers are up to the plate. Indeed, and that has got to be something that Connor Dawson and, Buffy are passing down, that's the priority. Make every bat and have tough at-bat. Drew, one more thing. We are in the trust tree, in the trust circle here, as we always are when we talk. Is it okay to be a little nervous about the pitching and injury situations, popping up with McGill yesterday? Nick Mears went again yesterday. He's going to have his most innings pitched. They're going to expect a lot out of Uribe and Koenig while McGill is down. Is it getting a little more nervous for the bullpen for Milwaukee and health down the stretch?
A little tiny bit.
Okay.
But again, they do have options if they need them. They could conceivably, and the closer we get, the less I think it's going to happen. They could move Miz to the bullpen. I think the likely scenario is Robert Gasser makes this next outing at Nashville. I think it's set for Friday. I think it's set for tomorrow. And he probably comes in and moves into a bullpen role or gets a spot start and kind of moves in that Tobias Myers hybrid role. They could go back to Yoho depending on how he's feeling and how he's faring. I mean, there are options if they really need them. I think they're looking at the fact that they can ride this out, that they have the ability right now. They have confidence in all the guys in the bullpen. What they really need more than anything is for their starters to start working deep into games.
Yeah.
That will cure so many of the woes, and they can start getting some efficiency, especially out of Freddie Peralta. If they can start getting him through at least 6 innings on a consistent basis, I think they're in a much better shape.
Yeah, all up and down, right? I mean, Quintana's done a great job at that. Woody's been good since coming back, and Priester as well. So now getting some length. Go ahead.
When the bats get going again, too, that changes the dynamic. We always talk about how it's all connected. Right now, the bats are in a little bit of a slump, and they're not scoring as many runs. They're not building up as big of a cushion.
Sure.
You can use your bullpen differently when you're playing with a bit of a lead, and right now they're just not doing that.
Yeah.
It'll turn back around. They've proven that they can put big numbers on the board. Once they do that, and once they start getting some length, I think the bullpen situation settles.
Well, and then they got to preserve the lead, Drew, right? Because, I mean, they did the first 2 games, the offense kind of shows up, but then the bullpen makes it an interesting game by the end of it, and then the leverage guys got to come out.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's baseball, man. You're riding high for a while. Murph has said all along, we're 1 inch from the top, we're 1 inch from the bottom. Yeah. And that's kind of where they're at right now.
Feels like it sometimes with this Brewers team for sure. Drew, thank you so much for jumping on today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, my friend.
Sounds good, Tommy. You keep the faith over there.
Oh, I'm trying. Drew Wagner joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Let's go with the bats today. We need 5 runs. 5 runs from these Brewers. However they get it, would just love the pitching staff to cruise throughout this one, and the Brewers bats carry them. So they don't have, I would love to just go watch Tobias Myers or Easton McGee pitch the last 3 innings of the game. There's something along those lines. A good old Bryce Wilson save out of someone where you can just use up an arm because the offense took care of business. That's today's keys to the game. Get a little bit healthier ahead of the Blue Jays series by taking care of business today with a big offensive performance. That is today's key to the game. That's going to do it for us here at the Fan. Leadoff show every Brewers home game 1 hour before every Brewers home game. Tomorrow, leadoff show will be at 5 o'clock as first pitch scheduled for 6:07. No idea why they do that in Canada. What gives? I don't know. Just start at a normal time, dude, on the 5 or the 10. But they're not doing that. Leadoff show will be at 5 o'clock. I'll be back here. It is Freddie Peralta going up against Shane Bieber in the first game of that series, and it's Jose Quintana on the bump for the series finale as the Brewers wrap things up with the Diamondbacks in game number 4 today. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.